Hi, my name is Jeff Dunmire from Kurzweil Division of American Music and Sound, and I'm here with my friends at Craft Music. Today we're going to take a look at the Kurzweil KA110. And remember, for a great deal and great bundles, check out Craft Music. The KA110 is a great addition to our existing digital piano line with additional features such as easy play, styles and accompaniments, 6-track recording, and SD card storage. The KA110 can also be attached to an optional furniture stand, the SPS stand. This gives the instrument a nice finished appearance for your home and is available in some of the craft bundles. Looking at the top panel, in the middle is an LCD display. This gives you plenty of information telling you what voice you might be using, or what rhythm or accompaniment that you might be using, what memory you might be on, the measure you're on, what tempo is going, and if you've got the chord mode engaged, what happens is it also displays the chord that you're playing. So let's take a look directly to the left. Over here, this is all our auto accompaniment section. There are 235 different auto accompaniments and rhythms available. Anything from waltz to swing to bossa nova, other Latin stuff, techno. The next group of buttons begins with the function. The function allows you to transpose, tune, change the keyboard sensitivity, change the DSP effect, and some other things. Right next to that is the mixer button. The mixer section allows you to control the volume of all the individual components of the rhythms, the upper and lower sounds, bass, everything. The auto accompaniment gives you overall volume control on your accompaniment in relationship to your main sound. The next two buttons are tempo minus and plus. Then down below, the last row of buttons, these are controls for your auto accompaniment and styles. You have a start stop, a synchro start stop, intro and ending, and then these four buttons here represent variations. The first button, we call them fills, because every time you hit it, there's a drum fill that happens. So this one is simple, this one's a little bit more complex, and they get more complex as you go up the alphabet. This next one is very important. This is chord mode. So if you noticed, when I hit the button, this light went on beside the fingered mode. This means that everything below my split, which can be changed, everything below my split becomes chords. Everything above the split becomes melody. The next time I hit this button, it goes into full range. This means that it will scan the whole keyboard, and if I play a C up here, it'll register C in the display. If I play a G in the middle, there's my G, there's my D, down on the bottom. So wherever I play on the keyboard, it will read the chord. So let's take a look at how the accompaniment works. We're going to start with a synchro start and stop. That means it won't play until I touch the keyboard. And I'm in fingered chord, which means I'm going to use easy play, which means I can have just one finger, or I can use 3 fingers or 4 fingers to key a chord. In this case, in the first part of it, I'm just going to use 1 finger. This is the default sound, the default style when you turn on the keyboard. It's an 8-beat piano. And if you notice, I'm using fill A, which is a very simple variation. I'm going to play a melody along with it. Let's go to another variation. It even has intro and ending. Another function that I didn't mention is the harmony. You can turn harmony on in the function mode, and what will happen is the note that you play up here will correspond with a chord just like the chord you're playing down here. So let's go to the function mode, turn on the harmony switch, and see what happens. So I'm in the function, and here's harmony on, and I've got a duet in here, but you've got 9 different harmonies that you can utilize. Anything from a country harmony to open block chords, 4 chords, 3-note chords. But let's just see how it sounds with a duet. We're going to do the same thing that we did, and we're going to dress it up just a little bit. So I hit start and stop again, synchro start. All right. Now that we've heard the fingered section, let's go to the full range mode and see what happens. All I do is press the button again, and now I'm in full range. And now, as a regular player, I'm going to have a band backing me up. I've got it on synchro start and stop. All I have to do is start playing. Now that we've gone over all the audio accompaniment stuff, let's go to the other side of the top panel, and this is where your voices are. These top 2 rows represent 583 different sounds that you can utilize. In addition to single sounds, there are some already preset layered sounds, but what I'm going to show you how to do now is take a sound and layer another sound on top of it. So let's just start with a simple sound like we had before, like the standard grand piano. When I hit the dual button, that's going to give me a layered sound, and the default sound is slow strings. So now here's slow strings with the piano. Now I'm going to remove the layered sound and instead use a split sound. So let's hit the split button, which is right beside the layered button. And right now the default sound again on this is strings. And I'm going to play something on the bottom section here. I know what you're saying, Jeff, I can't hear the strings. Let's go to the mixer page. Remember, we talked about that earlier. So I'm going to hit the mixer page and find lower volume. Right now, the volume is set at 54. I'm going to bump it up to about 100. So now I have higher volume on the strings. I didn't mention this before, but there are memory buttons on the KA110. There's 4 across this panel right here, but there are also 8 banks of memory. So that means I have up to 32 sounds of stuff that I want to do, that I preset. And the great thing about it is, using that mixer button, it will remember everything. It'll remember volumes, it'll remember splits, it'll remember what tempo I'm at, what auto accompaniment I decide to use, or what rhythm, whether I'm using a split sound or a layered sound or both. And all I have to do is hit the button to recall it. So this first bank of memory, it's called Memory 1. I decided to use just bossa nova, right? And it's going to be some variations on the bossa nova. I'm using the same tempo on every one of these presets, but in some cases I'm using full scale keyboard, or in other cases I've divided the keyboard up and I'm using a sax or a flute or a double flute. So let's hear how it sounds like. Again, I'm just going to press the button, I hit synchro start, and it's ready. All right, now that we've covered Memory Bank 1, I'm going to go to Memory Bank 2. I have something just a little bit different in there. To get to the next memory bank, I can hit bank twice, or I can hit bank once and hit yes or plus or minus in order to move it around. This next thing, I played this past weekend and I used the keyboard, and I used it for a song called Green Dolphin Street. Now, if any of you know this song, it starts out as a bossa nova and then it turns into a swing. Now, I'm not going to play Green Dolphin Street. I'm going to play something virtually indistinguishable. But we are going to start with a bossa nova, and then we're going to move to a swing. Hit the synchro start. It's ready for me to start playing. And again, I've got it on full range, so it's going to follow me all over the keyboard. go to something completely different now. On memory 3, I have a swing waltz. So we're going to start with just something very light, waiting for me to do something. And now for something even more completely different, I'm going to go to memory bank, or excuse me, same memory bank, but button 4. My next 2 banks are devoted to more orchestral sounds. There's some combination and splits. Let's take a listen. Next, I have a little woodwind section. Next is choir and strings. This is very nice. Next is 2 violins with the string section. Next bank, I start with sweet flute and guitar, layered on top of each other. Next, I have a pipe organ. Next is woodwind and brass together. So that's the KA110 Digital Piano Arranger. Plenty of great sounds, plenty of great styles, easy play, one note, recording capabilities, SD storage, great for studio, home, stage, or even a beginner. Once again, this is Jeff Dunmire from American Music and Sound, Kurzweil Division, coming to you from Craft Music. Thank you so much for watching.